Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the Altcoin show, coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today we have altcoins on sale. Again, we're going to look into the altcoin market. We're going to talk about the possible upcoming altcoin season in January and a whole bunch more. But before we do that, you know what I'm going to say next? Smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people and does help support the channel. To appreciate all the kind words, encouragement, and of course, all the Merry Christmases greetings that I got yesterday. So kind of all of you, you take the time to write it. I do take the time to read it. Thank you so much. And of course, those who ask questions in the comment section, I do get back to those as soon as I am able to. And if you'd like to engage with me more directly, I am in the Stocks with Josh Discord. That can be found below in the description of this video. You might have to click the more button that will pop out there, and there are a couple of plans that you can get signed up there. I'm in the crypto channel there daily, engaging with the most amazing community on the planet. Also the meme coin channel, aka the party zone. There's a stocks channel in there. There are a ton of other resources, crown traders in there, and I have my own crown traders channel where I share education, insights, resources, some of the trade setups that I take, and of course entertainment, because it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Okay, so I appreciate all of you. And of course, make sure that you are following me on X. That is also below. There is a link below, Discord links there. Here you go, Crypto Coins 365. We've been doing some giveaways. I think about 7 people have already received giveaways so far. And so if you're not following me there, you can follow me on Crypto. That's how we find you to give the giveaways. That's how we find the Tribal Trades family. And make sure you're also subscribed to the Tribal Trades YouTube channel here. Just some Christmas love. We're going to continue doing more giveaways. I can't give away to everybody. I'd love to, but just 4 people are going to be randomly selected there. So if you'd like to be with a chance to receive a giveaway, you do need to be following me on the X platform there, Crypto Coins 365, and also make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you got a Sui wallet as well, because we are giving away the Sui ecosystem coins. We're all hoping our beloved altcoins will go up as they historically have. There is the Christmas season 2020. There was a correction, and then we saw, I think it was 127x. My word. Over here, there's a prediction here. DeFi Tracer it's got 239x. I'm not quite sure about that, but we will see. And we will see if there is even an altcoin season. If history repeats, alts will explode in just 3 days. That was on December 24th. So he's thinking altcoin season is going to start early on the 27th. So that's interesting. Normally it doesn't really start until January, but that's okay. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance there is right. It's right on that 50-day moving average. What I did say, it busted up below it. We had a sharp drop below it. Initially was rejected, popped above. At the moment, it's a little bit hard to see. Maybe we'll go to the 4-hour time frame. Maybe it's just a little bit below it there. So that's a little bit of it pop. That's why it's good to look on the different time frames. So we are seeing it pop down. Now, if we do see a breakdown, we do want to see it when it comes to 200 EMA on the 4-hour, that it would continue to go down and continue to plummet down, of course, to the 200 EMA on the daily. That's what we really need to see lost. We saw a big deviation underneath, and we saw a bit of a precursor. Hopefully that wasn't our alt season, by the way. We do have to consider that, you know, there are some people that are quite bearish out there saying that the bull market is over. And while I would disagree with that the bull market is not over, and that the 4-year cycle is not broken, we do have to consider that the 4-year cycle be broken. Bull market is over. That was the top. This was our little mini altcoin season here, and it's only down and pain from here. And of course, if you're in a situation where that freaks you out and scares you, then you probably have too much money in the market and haven't taken enough profits off the table. The goal, as I've always shared on this channel, and what I can say, what I've always said, my goal is always, number one, to get the original capital that I invested in the market, out of the market as profits and back into my jeans. And some people I've talked about said they were good at taking profits, but didn't put it back in the jeans. They put it back into the market. No. That is how people get wrecked. And number two, there are people that just didn't take profits because they just wanted to have the diamond hands there, and then they just got caught holding the bags, and then they had to wait through the entire bear market. And I always ask the question, if the bull market finished today, if you knew that the bull market was finishing and that was it, and there would be no altcoin season, there'd be no Christmas rally for Bitcoin, there'd be no parabolic move to the upside, have you managed this 4-year cycle correctly? Which wouldn't really be a 4-year cycle, it would be more like a 3 or a 3 and a bit year cycle. And so you do just have to ask the questions there. And of course, everybody has to decide for themselves when to buy and when to sell. But certainly we are seeing this drop. This is a good sign here below the 50-day moving average. And of course, I don't believe that the bull run is over. I do still think we'll have some kind of an altcoin season come in January here. That doesn't mean that we can't have some more downside for altcoins before we do break out. And is the altcoin season going to start a little bit sooner? Like Tracer said, thinks it's going to start about December the 27th. And maybe we will see that. Maybe we'll see the Bitcoin dump happen a little bit early, as I shared in my Bitcoin video earlier today, that maybe the market is being a little bit front run and people are starting to offload their Bitcoin bags before the drop, before the usual there is a January sell-off of Bitcoin. The last 2 cycles, we've seen that happen in January of 2021 and January of 2017, where Bitcoin has actually dropped overall around 30%. And so that is quite a big drop. I wouldn't see that necessarily being that severe this time around. And of course, we have to see if that does happen. And maybe there are some stages that it drops as people start to front run that, because they know, hey, this has now happened in the last couple of cycles. I'm not going to wait for the first bit of January. I'm going to start rotating out of Bitcoin into cash and then look to maybe picking up some of those altcoin seasons for altcoin season. Our altcoins are on sale. And I have said, what are the altcoins to look for? I did do a video 2 days ago. Go back and look for that. And I talk about altcoins and I go through a bunch of altcoins. I feel like I went through 12, 15, 20 altcoins there and looked at the 50-day moving average and the 200 EMA on the daily there as those possible entries. And I will be looking to share more altcoin setups in the Discord over the coming days and weeks ahead. Now, as you can see here, so this is what's happened. Let's look at Total 2. So Total 2 is holding the 50-day moving average. And this is one of the things I was looking for. That's bullish. If it was to lose that 50-day moving average, a possible sell-off down to the 200 EMA on the daily could happen. So be prepared that if we break below that, retest that, and I would even drop to the 4-hour time frame to see that happen there. That's sitting at about 1.34 trillion. If we were to break below that, retest that as resistance, then we could see that really capitulate down and we could really see some altcoins on sale and come back to that 200 and just freak everybody out. And then before we have that altcoin season in January, that's something that to keep an eye on for there. Now, of course, if this metric were to come down to here, let's just say that it holds here, that's bullish, okay? And if we just keep bouncing around here, up and down, okay, that's very bullish. If we lose this, that's short-term bearish. If we were to lose this level here, like the 200 EMA on the daily or the 200 simple moving average, and I'm not saying a wick down below it or where we kind of just sit around it. I mean, if we really were to break down from this level there, that would be quite bearish. You see Total 3, also the 50-day moving average is looking quite good, and the others, the 50-day moving average is looking quite good. And look, here's what I would say. If you've got too much in the market, you're feeling a bit scared, the 50-day moving average, if we were to lose this level here, reject against it, that could be a place to de-risk. But of course, you don't want to fake out. The last thing you want to do is sell all your altcoins and it rejects and it retests on the 50-day moving average, and then it just suddenly pops back above it as well. And this is why it can be very, very interesting in these scenarios to make sure that people, I don't want to be jumping out of all my altcoins and then have to buy them all back. I wouldn't do that anyway. If anything, I might just take some profits off the table. I might de-risk a little bit there. But of course, again, this all comes back to the strategy of making sure that when you're in profits, when were you in profits for altcoins? Back up over here, around the 17th, the 16th of December, maybe up over here in the early parts of December and the middle parts of December there, to make sure that you are taking your original capital off the table as profit. So when you get up a certain amount, just to be scooping off those profits, putting them in your jeans, then you can look and say, okay, I put X amount, I put $10,000 in the market, and now I got 10,000 back in my jeans. Now the rest is house money. The rest is house money. Worst case scenario, the market drops, the bull run is over, altcoin season never happens, but you have your original capital, you have what you started with, and now you've got these altcoins that are going to drop, lose 90 to 95% of their value during the bear market, that then you can say, okay, no worries, but I still have some value in the market. Eventually, most, if not all of those will pop back, and I still have some money here that I put in my jeans that I can invest back in the bear market to help average down those prices or buy into new projects before the new bull run. So I'm giving you a little bit of strategy here, giving you a little bit of help there. If you have not been a good profit taker, this is why we trade. We trade so that we will buy low and sell high. So the question is, we'll look at the 3-day charts here. This is where we buy. We buy low and we look at selling high. If you bought down here around this October and September, even earlier, I mean, we could go all the way back here, to where we got back down in September and August. If you bought low, this is where we sell high. This is where profits are taken. This is where we take profits off the table. It's very difficult to watch your portfolio go from here to here, and then it would be very disheartening to see it come all the way back down to here, all the way back down to here, and not to realize any of these profits, because then you can buy back lower and then sell higher. And of course, we do want to make sure that this holds here. I'm not saying that we'll come to the 200 EMA on the daily, but that is a possibility, and we do have to consider all the possibilities. What do I think is the most likely probable thing? Number one, I think the most likely, because there are no guarantees, there are no certainties, the most probable scenario for me is we still have the January altcoin season, that we still have the normal drop in Bitcoin at the beginning of the year, the first week of the year, and that we do see alts begin to take over. Bitcoin dominance begins to drop as we looked at this chart here. That is the most likely scenario that I'm looking at here. And as we're speaking, Bitcoin dominance is really wrestling with that 50-day moving average there as we look. We do really want to see that. I do still think it's below there. It is still a little bit low, the 50-day moving average. So we do want to see it reject there, come down here and reject. That's what we're looking for. That's what I think is the most likely scenario eventually. It's possible that Bitcoin has a bit of a rally through the end of the year. This pops up again. Alts take a little bit more of a push down, and then alts begin to take over. So I'm just still sticking with the scenario that has played out every other time and sticking with the 4-year cycle. That doesn't mean, however, that Bitcoin during that, before altcoin season really officially kicks in, that can't drop down to the 200 EMA on the day, or it could possibly hold here as well. Okay, so those are the scenarios. But certainly this would be a little bit of a scary move if total, what are we at here? Oh, that's the total crypto market cap. Sorry, total 2. It would be a bit of a scary move to see the total market cap lose about $240 billion. That would be some drop down to that could lead to quite a significant buying opportunity. And this is why all eyes should be on total 2. That's what I'm going to be looking at today. The 3 charts that I'm really looking at today is number 1, total 2. I'm looking at $1.34 trillion. If we were to lose this level, I'm going to keep an eye on the 4-hour chart. If we were to lose this level, and we could almost put a nice little trend line there, and this can move, by the way. This is moving up at the moment. You can see how it's found support. If we were to lose this level, reject under it, then it's possible that we do head down to the lower level. And of course, we can get a fake out, people. Fake outs do happen. Look at this big fake out here. This big fake out here where people might have panic sold their altcoins. But this is just what I'm saying. I'm looking at this level here, and then they went ahead and bought them back in, and then it's like fake out again. And this is why it's just easier. Honestly, the easier trading strategy is just to always be in house money. Just be in house money. You bought down in August, September, October, maybe even June, July, and then hopefully you took profits up here. And now hopefully you're in house money. And then you're not having to worry too much about this. You're just buying every dip. And then if the bull run is over or something happens, then you're not super worried about it because you've already got back all the money that you put into the market, okay? And we do have the inauguration coming up. We do have a pro-crypto administration coming in, a pro-crypto SEC team coming in, as well as a new crypto czar that is pro-crypto as well. So I still don't feel that this bull run is over and that any dip I am looking to add and to accumulate there, okay? So that is really what we're looking for. And then we're looking for Bitcoin dominance. We're looking for this to, there's the 50-day moving average there. If we pop up on the 4-hour right there. So that's what I'm looking for there. I'm going to add another trend line here just to keep an eye on that level today. And we can clearly see we're under that and we've rejected. So if that does pop up above, retest the support, then we could see Bitcoin have that Christmas rally that hasn't quite had yet, or we had a day of it where it went up about from 92 to 100K, that could pop back up again. But ideally for altcoin season to happen, we need to stay below here, or if we do pop back above, break down below and then go lose the 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, and then ultimately we need to come down to here and lose this just like we did over here where we really lost that 200 EMA on the daily. Some people might say, well, some people are saying, oh, the bull market's over. We already had the alt season. It came early and we broke down below it. That would be probably the worst alt season in history. And that would clearly have broken the 4-year cycle. And there'll be some people saying if the bear market does come now and the bull market is over, that, well, we just still had the 4-year cycle, but it got accelerated, etc., etc. Again, I'm not going down that road yet. I'm going to stick with the plan that I feel is the right plan, has so far led me the right way ever since I've come on this channel, ever since I've been in the crypto space, even into the last cycle. This has been what I have learned, and I'm sharing what I have learned and what I feel will be the way. Again, we're over the 50-day moving average here on total 3 and also on the others. And the total 2 is all the altcoins. Total 3 is all the altcoins minus Ethereum. And then the others is minus the top 10. And of course, total is the whole market cap, including Bitcoin. And that also is above the 50-day moving average on there as well. So historically, these have been good times to dollar cost average and accumulate when that is the case. Go look at your favorite altcoins. I did a video a couple of days ago about it. I went through a ton of different altcoins, the 50-day moving average and the 200 EMA on the daily. If either of your altcoins find support on there after being tested, that can be areas to pick up a buy. And obviously, if they lose those levels, you can stop out of those plays. All right. Well, again, thank you all for tuning in. And until the next episode, happy trading.